Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, they actually changed flags. We were actually sailing there.
Yeah.
I had to go through.
The story that we heard from our clients was that they were very shocked to be boarded by the police and then a helicopter at 01:35 on the morning of the 4th of July, the day after Gibraltar had changed its legislation to permit this arrest to take place. And not realising that whilst the ship had been on high seas, it had been deflagged by its which country was it flagged with? I can't remember now. Panama. It had lost its Panama flag whilst on the high seas, and it arrived as a stateless vessel. They were arrested. They were told to kneel down and put their hands behind their heads on the deck. And then at the last day, well, on the very last day, they wrote to the court objecting on the grounds of American sanctions to the vessel being released. And writing a letter to the court isn't how you do these things, and that didn't work. So the vessel was released, but then the formal application by the Americans was considered by the Gibraltar judicial authorities, who came to the proper conclusion that American sanctions do not apply in Europe. The impression that the world has got about the crew is that they were guilty and they were going to Syria, but they've got off with it because of some political chicanery behind the scenes, and that the Iranians are given in. And that's not the case as we see it. The case as we see it is that they had thought about going to Syria. It had been discussed whilst they're in the Atlantic. They changed their mind before they got to Gibraltar, and they decided they were going to go to Cyprus, and they therefore felt safe in calling into Gibraltar for repairs. They had enough. Also, the captain told me that he'd not been on the ship for the best part of a month, and in that time, all sorts of things could have gone wrong with that boat. There could be all sorts of problems that he's not aware of, he's not on top of, and he didn't feel happy going back to it in those circumstances. He felt that he'd lost control, and being the person responsible for control, he didn't like that.